Welcome to the Boston Barrister, Kevin Patrick Seaver, bringing you insights about your family and the world.
Welcome to the Boston Barrister. My name is Kevin Patrick Seaver. I'm located in Boston, Massachusetts. Today I'm with Paulo, Rossetti, another attorney in my office. And the first question today we want to ask and answer is, can the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families order me as the parent to do a drug test?
No, they cannot do so technically without a court order.
So the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families cannot order you to go take a drug test. However, what they do is the following. They tell you that if you don't go take a drug test, we're going to remove your children. So what kind of choice is that? The answer is it's not a choice at all.
It's more of a coercion that DCF, they'll hold it against you if you refuse to take a drug test, even though you technically do not have to submit to a drug test.
In this type of situation where DCF asks for drug tests, why would you comply? And the reason you're going to comply is they don't take your children. And you want to assure that your children are safe. And DCF truly wants the same. I know it's hard to believe, but they do. They want the children to be safe as well. And that's their affirmative duty given to them by the legislature of Massachusetts to make sure children are safe. On the other hand, they also have the conflict of working with parents. And the old saying is that you can't serve two masters. Well, DCF is serving the safety of the children as well as working with the parents, and that at times is a collision course. So my suggestion is if you're going to use a drug lab, make sure you get one that is licensed in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, that's above boards, that can send the drug test and get it done as quick as fast as possible. Oftentimes I'll see DCF draw up what's called a safety plan. You should sign nothing to DCF until a lawyer looks at it, because you could really damage your rights as a parent by doing such. If DCF asks you to sign a safety plan, just ask them to please be able to speak to a lawyer. In my experience, often I've seen DCF tell parents, if you don't want to sign the safety plan, we're taking your children right now. Now that's in direct conflict with their parents' pamphlet, which you're supposed to give to all clients, that says you're entitled to counsel, which means a lawyer, at any time. In the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and across this great nation of ours, no child should be raised by a parent who has a substance abuse problem if possible. But you must show also that there's an impact on that child being raised by a person who has an alcohol or a drug problem. And sometimes that's not too hard to prove. Children's missing school, children going to school with dirty clothes, children are late, they're tardy, children are going to school without their lunch, children are hungry, children aren't getting sleep at night, on and on and on and on. All the panoply of problems that occur when a parent has a substance abuse problem. What do I do if I have a drug problem? I had a client recently, Joan, not a real name. She told me that she had a terrible substance abuse problem. The first thing I said to her, as I do to all clients, there for the grace of God go I. It is a disease. And yet our society wants to punish and be punitive to those that have a substance abuse problem, which is wrong. And no matter how bad her substance abuse problem may be, bad visitation is better than no visitation when it comes to children. There's all types of research that shows that. So Joan became a client of mine. We instantly got her into everything dealing with substance abuse. Got her a program where she could have an individual and group therapy. Got her involved with AA and NA, where she went every day. We also got her involved with a sponsor that could tell her what is expected, what she's going to have happen to her, who's been there and done that, who's experienced this problem, and has traveled that road less traveled, as Robert Frost likes to say. And it's not easy. Joan at one point was really feeling down one night. And I told her relapse sometimes is part of treatment. But she hadn't relapsed, but she was feeling pretty lousy. She felt like she was going to use again. I should call your sponsor, call your individual group therapist, call your relapse prevention coach, and get out and take a walk on the beach and clear your head of all the squirrels up there. Joan said to me, Attorney Seaver, this is not easy. And I replied back to her, if it was easy, then many would have already kicked the habit, their substance abuse habit. Nothing easy is worth earning. The hard things are most difficult because they are hard. The greatest mystery, however, I told Joan, is that everybody can, not everybody will. And she was doing it. She was fighting back. In the immortal words of Martin Luther King, who was one of my greatest heroes, he said that, don't tell me how many times I got knocked down. Tell me how many times I got back up. And I told Joan that. I said, Joan, you can do this. So anyone out there that has a substance abuse problem, and DCF asks you to do a drug screen, you don't have to. But I highly suggest if you've got a problem with drugs and or alcohol, substance abuse problem, you're no good to anyone, including yourself. You got to take a big, gigantic step back, reevaluate what you're doing, and go seek help. There's much places that you can go to help you. You can't help anybody until you help yourself. You must major in University of You. Help yourself. Climb over this hurdle. You can do it. Remember, the United States Constitution is the bedrock and foundation of our nation. And it reads, we the people. Don't ever forget that.